G'day, welcome back to the Weedy garden. I'm sitting here by the fire tonight under the stars. So peaceful up here, just me and the crickets. I'm making a bunch of apartment buildings for my bacteria tonight. I'm making charcoal. Bacteria love a place to hide and live when they get down in the soil, especially when it rains or when you water. They hang out in all these little crevices and air pockets in the charcoal and don't get washed away and end up in the creek. I have a big fire going tonight because I need a fair bit of charcoal. Tomorrow I want to make a new pile of compost. We've all heard of the word compost. It's that pile of garden waste and food scraps that you have near the garden that somehow turns into soil. Nature does it 24/7, and that process of decomposition can take months and months and even years depending on what's in it. But what I do here takes about 21 days and then it's ready for the garden. It retains nitrogen and does not produce as much CO2 as a compost. So I have a pile of yummy soil which smells like a fresh forest in the morning, but in only 21 days. This is a pile of it right here. When I started building my garden a few weeks into lockdown, I was talking with a mate of mine. His name is Takashi and he's from Japan, but he lives just down the road. He showed me how to make bokashi. Bokashi is a technique that's been used for centuries in Japan. You wet some rice bran and you put it in a bag or a bucket with some molasses and mix some food scraps in with it, some organic matter. You close it up and let the bacteria start to breed. After a month in the bag, in a cool dark place, the bag is fermenting and full of anaerobic bacteria, the ones we have in our bacteria drum. No one ever really put a name on what they call those little microbes all the gardeners were making in Japan until 1982. I'll let my friend Takashi explain that.
Yes, bokashi come from Japan. Many people using and make it because it's cheap and easy. Normally we use bokashi with rice bran, with just add some water and airtight. Just leave it for 1 month. Then inside the bag, it's fermented. Many microorganisms it start arriving more, expanding. Just leave it inside and leave it in a dark, cool place. Like same as soybean paste, just leave them. Then I'd like to introduce a guy whose name is Teruo Higa. He find out 1982. He find out effective microorganism. It's called EM. Yeah, this is he find out like a good organism. Our body is 90% of full of them, full of microorganisms. Yeah, bokashi in Japanese is like spread out, like the paint and water become the paper.
Excuse me. Okay. So that was compost. And that was bokashi, but this is something new. See, this one we're going to call compost, so no one gets confused. It's beautiful soil filled with microorganisms, the effective ones. It's pretty strong, so I wouldn't put a whole pot full of it in your plants because they might burn their toes. But I mix it 50-50 with the soil you already got, or just put it around the bottom of your plants on top of the soil. They'll love it. So, the compost. We need greens and browns, and some black and grey. Nitrogens are the greens. Yeah, these ones are green too. Doesn't matter if there's a bit of yellow in them, they're still green. And carbons are the browns. These ones are your browns. The charcoal is the black. And the crusher dust is the grey. Plus you'll need some of your soil bacteria from your soil bacteria drum. And you'll also need the same amount of molasses. I use molasses because it's unrefined sugar. It's pure bacteria food. So let's start with the greens, the nitrogen ingredient. I might take a trip to the beach and grab some seaweed.
Got your seaweed.
I might go for a walk and grab some cow poo. I use the stuff that has dried out a bit because that's the stuff full of worm eggs. It's easier to pick up. See, there's a little worm egg right there. Worms lay eggs in cow poo. They lay an egg here and an egg there. Each egg has a couple of new earthworms in it. If you don't have cows around, I've seen it for sale sometimes when I take a drive in the country. Or some chicken poo. I might pull out some broccoli that's flowered and finish the cycle. That's certainly ready to go back into the earth. Green, green, green. As long as it's green, it's green. Comfrey is a great green. Very green and full of trace minerals as well as nitrogen. Same goes for the seaweed. Full of trace minerals as well as nitrogen. Oh, and don't forget your kitchen waste. Banana peels are yellow, I know. But let's just call them greens for now. I use eggshells too. The plants love them. But I put them in the fire and collect them with my ash or my charcoal. I use ash for other stuff too. It all ends up in the ground. Then I go looking for browns.
And you'll need a lot of sugarcane mulch. I'm talking a lot of sugarcane mulch.
This is your carbons. You want plenty of carbon, like twice as much as your greens, your nitrogen. Your greens will release nitrogen into the soil and the browns suck it up so it doesn't just run off every time it rains. So I chuck the browns in to suck up and store all this released nitrogen. So, to get my browns, I might use sugarcane mulch.
You'll need a lot of sugarcane mulch, but you can get it in bales. Don't come into the guy's field because you'll get in trouble.
I don't get it from the sugarcane farm, I get it from the shop because it's all chopped up. See, it decomposes quicker. Then the sugarcane farmer doesn't get angry. You can cut the grass, let it sit in the sun for a day or 3. The sun, it'll turn it from green to brown. When you cut it, it'll be green, but after a few days in the air and the sun, it'll be brown for sure. The nitrogen just floats away on the breeze before you can say, the quick green fox jumps over the lazy brown dog. What about brown cow poo? Nah, that's green, but don't let that confuse you. You could do a nice rake up in the yard and throw those brown leaves in the round bucket. Then I'd go for a drive and grab some crusher dust, the grey, the minerals. This stuff is also good to get your soil conductive, so the electromagnetic energy that's all around us can move easily through the soil. The cells in the plant oscillate like crazy and can take in way more nutrients. That's what happens. It energizes it. So this is Compost without crusher dust? And this Compost with crusher dust. It energizes it. So I layer on the different colours. Then I mix half a litre of bacteria brew and another half of molasses or sugar in a watering can and pour it on. Cover it up with a tarp or a plastic sheet and say goodnight. You can sing it a song if you like. And every day or 2, I give it a turn and keep it moist. And after 21 days, I have beautiful soil that is ready to top up my garden that smells like a fresh forest in the morning.
21 days have gone by. Come and look at this. You see our bokashi? You see my happy face? Come and look at this. That's real soil, that's right soil to go. Mix this 50-50 with real soil. No, that's really nice soil. Have a smell. It's good.
I can make bucketfuls of this soil as much as I want. Full of life that builds the soil food web. The soil food web is what I call the stomach for my vegetables. Being in this garden and hearing the birds outside, with my feet on the ground, feeling the earth underneath my toes, I'm beginning to live in a flow of what I call the feel-good factor. I kind of feel like my energy is vibrating at a frequency that is finally lined up with what the universe has been attempting to deliver to me my entire life. I'm finding some on the outside, but most of it comes from the inside. You could call it a bit inside out, but I feel it to be true for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Beautiful, healthy, happy plants. Have a nice day and I'll catch you later.